Yesterday, the Red Sox had to make a pretty big decision about one of their biggest trade pieces of the 2024 season. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Red Seat Radio. My name is Corbin, and yesterday the Boston Red Sox had a decision to make about how much a player could possibly impact the 2024 Boston Red Sox, and the decision was made, and in my opinion, it was the right one. So what we are going to do in today's videos, we're going to break this decision down, talk about what the decision was, how it impacts 2024, and of course, how it also impacts the future of this player's potential. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one. Let's get into it. Okay, so I'm sure most of you sitting there right now and you're saying, Corbin, what are we talking about, for the love of God? Well, yesterday, the Boston Red Sox had a decision to make on one Vaughn Grissom, one of the biggest trade pieces to come over to the Red Sox either before this season or during the deadline, and they had to decide whether or not his rehab assignment was going to put him in the major leagues or if they were going to option him down to AAA. For those of you who don't know, there is a certain period of time that a player is allowed to be on a rehab assignment before a team has to make a decision about his future. Well, yesterday the decision was made for Vaughn Grissom, and that decision was to option him down to AAA Worcester for the foreseeable future, meaning he will not be on the Boston Red Sox anytime soon. Now, I know that immediately the very first comments that are going to happen on this video are going to be along the lines of, good, he was a waste of space in the major leagues, or the Chris Sale trade has been an absolute bust. And I'm not going to sit here in this video and defend his statistics at the major league level, because at the end of the day, you can't manipulate numbers that have already happened, right? But what I am going to do is ask you guys, before you make that comment, to think about a couple of things here. The first thing is, we've never really seen the true Vaughn Grissom, the actual potential that Vaughn Grissom has. A big reason for this is because he's had a tough time since joining the Boston Red Sox. Basically, immediately since joining a new team, the first new team of his entire career, he got injured. It was spring training, which meant not only did he not get the proper time to adjust to a new team in a new city, he also didn't get the time to adjust to a new position and major league pitching before the season started. This also meant that he got a really short rehab assignment. It was only 8 games. When he got fully healthy, he got a singular week to prepare for his major league season, as opposed to most players getting a legitimate full month of games. That is a big difference when it comes to how you're preparing for a season. Because he only got 8 games in his first rehab assignment, you're also talking about the first time we saw Vaughn Grissom, we didn't see Vaughn Grissom at 100% health. He talked about it, Alex Cora talked about it, but because he only got 8 days in Worcester, he never really fully healed that hamstring, so he was utilizing his other hamstring more for activities that he would normally use both in. That also led to the new injury and the reason why we are talking about this decision today. And to make matters even worse, before he got to the Major League club this season, he got really sick and lost 14 pounds. That is a real big amount of muscle mass that Vaughn Grissom lost in the span of a couple of days, and that just goes to show you the uphill battle that Vaughn Grissom has gone through this season. Now, again, I know a lot of people are going to sit there and they're going to hear that. They're going to say, yes, Corbin, we've heard that before. We understand that. But at the same time, too, this guy is a major leaguer who did not put up any sort of relevant statistics at the major league level. And again, I'm not sitting here defending the statistics themselves. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to defend Vaughn Grissom's potential, because on top of everything that he has gone through before getting to a big league uniform this season, we also got to talk about the sample size that we are evaluating Vaughn Grissom on. This season, he has played just 23 games with the Boston Red Sox. Throughout his major league career, he has played barely over half a season at 90 games through 3 seasons. To me, that isn't a large enough sample size to base whether or not a player is going to be successful at the major league level. And the reason I say that is because of players currently on this team. Tristan Casas' first experience with the big league club was wildly unsuccessful in a lot of ways, right? There were people after his first season saying, oh, this is the messiah of the Boston Red Sox. This is the dude that you think is going to be the big impact bat they need. What are we talking about? Ceddanne Rafaela Gonzalez's first month with the Major League club was about 50% worse than the average player in Major League Baseball. Wilyer Abreu's first 20-ish games this season had people, including myself, saying, wait a second, this guy might need some more time in AAA. And the best player on the Boston Red Sox this season, Jarren Duran, took multiple years to get to the level that he is at, right? You are basing your decision on Vaughn Grissom after just 23 games, when we've seen how 23 games doesn't really define a player in multiple ways this year. But to break it down even further, to give you guys a bit of perspective, Vaughn Grissom isn't scheduled to be a free agent because of arbitration process until 2030. After this season, that is 4 potential full seasons the Boston Red Sox could have with Vaughn Grissom. That's 648 games. Basically, what I'm saying here right now is that if you've already given up on Vaughn Grissom, you are giving up on a player after just 3.5% of the games he could possibly play for the Boston Red Sox. Take a look at this pie chart if you aren't really understanding what I mean here. All of that blue, that is games that Vaughn Grissom still potentially has yet to play for this Red Sox team. And that little sliver of red you're seeing, yeah, that's what he has currently played. There is still a ton of time for Vaughn Grissom to be a productive member of the Boston Red Sox. And if you're still not convinced, I can keep going because, well, this is my channel. I'm going to keep going. Vaughn Grissom is just 23 years old. In fact, he is younger than every other player on the Major League roster right now, younger than, say, Don Rafaela. He's also the third youngest player on the Red Sox 40-man roster, behind just Luis Perales and Wickelman Gonzalez, who are both currently in AA. Well, Perales is on the IL, but he was in AA before he went on to the IL. And if we want to bring it out further, he would be the second youngest player on the Worcester Red Sox, just behind Chase Meidroth. And on top of that, he would be the 10th youngest player on the Portland Sea Dogs, just behind, 10 other people, obviously, but that's the 10th youngest person out of 40 players on the AA roster. We are talking about a guy who is essentially a prospect with Major League service time, right? We are talking about somebody who really hasn't even gotten towards the peak of their career yet. The average peak in Major League Baseball is from 27 to around 30 years old. It can vary a little bit depending on the player, right? Sometimes it's 26 to 29, sometimes it's 27 to 32. It varies depending on the player, but the average player's legitimate peak of their career is around 27 years old. Vaughn Grissom is still 4 years away from making that mark. You are talking about a player who is one of the youngest players in this organization that has Major League experience. There is still, again, plenty of time here for Vaughn Grissom to make an impact at the big league level. Sorry for the interruption, folks, but if you are still watching this video, do me a favor. Make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're new here, we talk Red Sox content almost every single day. Also, make sure you guys have hit the like button on this video as well. Not only does it help these videos out a ton, but it's the best way you can let me know you're enjoying the content that we are putting out. Thank you all very much for taking a second and doing so. Again, I apologize for the interruption. Let's get back to the video. Now, I know that there has been a lot of problems with Vaughn Grissom at the Major League level this year, and again, I want to reiterate this for a third time because I think some people are going to take this as me defending what he's done at the Major League level this season. I'm not. I understand what the statistics are, but I also think that because of those statistics, a lot of people are going to view this decision to start Vaughn Grissom in AAA as opposed to bringing him back up to Major League Baseball as a total failure either on the Boston Red Sox front office or on Vaughn Grissom himself, but I don't view it as that. In my opinion, this is the correct decision for a couple of different reasons. The first reason is because right now, the Red Sox have the ability or the luxury to option Vaughn Grissom down to AAA because of what players are doing at the Major League level. David Hamilton is starting to come back to life at the plate a little bit. Nick Sogard looks like a really intriguing potential fit for this Red Sox team, both defensively and at the plate where he's putting together some really good at-bats. They don't need Vaughn Grissom in the major leagues right now, which is why, in my opinion, this decision was made. But the other, and really probably the bigger reason why they decided to keep Vaughn Grissom down at AAA is because they want to do this thing right this time. They gave him a full length of time to rehab in AAA, and now it's about getting Vaughn Grissom back to not only 100% health, but also 100% in comfortability, both on the field and in the batter's box. That is something they did not allow him to get his first time time through the rehab process. In fact, Alex Spear recently wrote an article about Vaughn Grissom's comeback towards Major League Baseball, and there were a couple of really interesting things that came out of this article. The first thing he talked about is Vaughn Grissom really focusing on getting himself 100% right, on making sure that this time around, the next time he gets a call, he's 100% prepared, and one of those things is about his approach at the plate. In fact, Vaughn Grissom has been really improving his hard hit rate since going back down to the minors this time. According to Alex Spear, his hard hit rate is up to 42% this time in AAA, which is the highest it's been in a while, higher than it was last year in basically a full season at the AAA level in the Atlanta Braves system, and much higher than it was for Vaughn Grissom at the big league level. He also said in an interview with Alex Spear, "I'm feeling good. Still working out some kinks. I don't feel like I'm totally myself yet, but I'm definitely really close and I'm getting closer every single day." Look, the point of this video is to not try and convince you that what Vaughn Grissom did at the major league level is a good thing. The point of this video is to try and convince you that this is not a failure by the Red Sox or by Vaughn Grissom yet, mostly because you still have a ton of wiggle room here for who Vaughn Grissom could be in the future, right? You have all of these things that were sort of stacked against him coming out of his first injury. You have an extremely small sample size to base your decision on, and on top of that, you have the fact that he's just 23 years old, and that you've seen other players that are currently big pieces of this Red Sox team follow a similar path to what Vaughn Grissom has started at the major league level, right? You have all of those things laid out in front of you, and so in my opinion, again, all I want to do is try and convince you guys that this is not a failure by the Boston Red Sox, but this is the right decision for this team right now. It also doesn't entirely mean that we won't see Vaughn Grissom at any point this season. If he can really get himself locked in and into a groove over the next couple of weeks, and Nick Sogard starts struggling a little bit, or David Hamilton isn't producing the way you're producing, I absolutely think there's still a lane for Vaughn Grissom to make an impact on this major league club this year. But right now, it's very clear that the Red Sox aren't entirely focused with Vaughn Grissom in 2024. They're entirely focused on Vaughn Grissom in 2025 and beyond. And in my opinion, that is absolutely the more important factor here for Vaughn Grissom. This is supposed to be the guy that is going to have a big impact at second base over the next few years. And if you have the luxury to ensure that he gets to that point, you absolutely take it 10 times out of 10. And I think that's what the Red Sox did in this decision. So overall, taking a look at it, again, I understand that realistically statistics played into this a little bit, right? If they figured that he was going to do something similar up at the major league level now, they probably weren't going to bring him back up. But I think there's a lot more to do with what Vaughn Grissom's decision was than just simply he was not successful at the major league level. And no, I still don't think this really makes this Chris Sale trade a bust. I don't know if we're going to know if this Chris Sale trade was a bust or not for a couple of years yet. He's got a ton of time to prove he can be an impact player with the Boston Red Sox. And obviously, despite the fact that I just spent, 12, 13 minutes talking about why you shouldn't automatically think this is a bad move for the Boston Red Sox and that this trade was a total failure, it's probably still going to be the most liked comment under this video, but I hope I was able to convince some of you guys that Vaughn Grissom still has a ton of potential, and we haven't seen the best Vaughn Grissom yet. So let me know if I did in the comment section down below. What do you think of this decision, and what do you think about the potential for Vaughn Grissom's impact on the Boston Red Sox? Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section. As always, if you made it to the end of this video, do me a favor. Make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're new here, we talk Red Sox content almost every single day. Also, make sure you guys have hit the like button on this video as well. Helps these videos out a ton, and it's the best way to let me know you enjoy the content we are putting out. Don't forget, if you want to listen instead of watch these videos, all you got to do is head over to your favorite podcasting app and look up Red Seat Radio. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one, and I will see you in the Red Seats.